Right. It's, I wish I had a better term, but it's like the Diet Coke effect. Being like, oh, there's no calories, I can drink like 8 of them. And it's like, well, yes, there's no calories or very limited calories, but also, should you drink 8 of them? You know, kind of thing. And it's like, well, there's no calories, it's fine. I can down a whole 2 liter. It's like, but maybe you still shouldn't, even if it had no calories, you know?
Yeah, it's still a bunch of chemicals.
So people probably are like, oh, vaping's healthy, bro. And they said they just do it, like, constantly. Whereas, with smoking, do you think in the first world, any first world organized place, that there's anyone who doesn't know that smoking's bad for you? That's, like, over the age of, like, 12. It's impossible, right? Like everyone knows, and yet people still start smoking. It's less than it used to be for sure, but people still do it. So it's interesting with the vaping stuff, especially with how new it is. I always worry when there's not a lot of
there was that one company
data out there, you know.
Yeah, there was that one company that like was advertising like e-vaping to like kids because it was like trendy. And it was like it had tobacco in it. And they were just doing it before like the FTC or whatever agency like starts regulating it. And they're just like, come on, smoke up, kids. It's a vape. It's not that bad. It's like, no. It's really bad.
So annoying.
Of course, luckily they did actually get in trouble, but I don't know. They probably had some like guys get addicted to that. It's like, man, that's
just because it's just because, like, it's root beer flavored doesn't mean it's, like, magically good for you. Yeah, I'm just glad that in general, I still see, obviously, people smoke on a daily, but I feel like it's less than 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah. And it definitely helps that everyone's poor and cigarettes and smoking stuff in general is just so expensive. Especially if you're just like a cigarette smoker. It's like $12 a pack or like $15 now.
Yeah, I think there's some cheaper brands that are like $8 a pack.
It's still ridiculous for something that will last like them like a day.
Yeah. Or potentially half a day if you're a two pack a day smoker. And depending on where you are, I know that obviously in cities there are a heck of a lot more.
I hate this place. Okay, I'm just gonna go to specifically have a map open for this garbage place.
I don't think there's very few places where they're made to be specific mazes that I really ever like.
I will say, I was actually thinking about this. You know, like the most common like place that people hate are sewer levels,
right?
Because you know they're dreary, they're confusing, they're maze-like.
Right.
I would say my second least favorite like place is like forests, because forests are also like, I guess it's like the Zelda influence or whatever, but they're also like almost universally just mazes too.
Yeah. No, that's true.
How do I get down here?
Even so either in forests you have it be like completely open, in which case you're like, where do I go? Or you have it like less confusing but very linear. Like I'm thinking, when you say forest, the first game that comes to my mind is that Blair Witch game from like 2019 or whatever.
Yeah, that's obviously intentional and like,
yeah, where that's like very you
just have like you're following the dog. But yeah, like any like place like this where it's just like figure out where to go in this forest. I mean, this forest looks nice. It's definitely one of the better looking areas in the game, but it's still like a big annoying maze.
Yeah, I guess I was even thinking more of like a 3D kind of thing where it's like you either have to put these obvious paths or you're like just truly in the forest. It's like, well, then where the heck do you go, you know? No, that's a good one. Yeah. I do still truly hate sewer levels. I can't think of a single good one. Even a game
it's clearly the worst. Like, I would even say that maybe, like, underground level, or underwater levels in general, are worse than forest, maybe.
Yeah, people don't
I'd have to,
those.
like, think about it, but...
Well, even games I like Super Mario RPG, you know how you have, that forest maze. Hey, it's a forest maze. But even that one, they like kind of give you the way by. Isn't there like an ally you follow or something?
You follow Gino the entire way.
Yeah. So it's not like specifically guessing. Even what's considered to be one of the greatest games of all time, Super Mario Brothers 1, has multiple of those weird like go through this door. You guessed wrong. Go through this door. Okay, you're right. Kind of thing. Those kind of mazes. I guess it's just always been a thing, and I know Zelda's obviously always had them.
Yeah, I feel as if like Forest being like the maze like portion of your game really comes back to even like Zelda 1 did it, but especially like Link to the Past.
I think top tier for me in most games is kind of like Burnt Out City. They're usually pretty cool because it's great world building and storytelling. Like I don't know, like in a Last of Us, or I guess even like a war-torn place and like a shooter kind of game. I always just love that, seeing how people lived before, and then going through it, whether it's like right after or years after. Or even some of the levels in Darksiders 1, like, I think the game starts in, like, a New York City type of thing, and you're just fighting these demons in, like, the middle of New York City, and I'm like, that's so cool. And then, obviously, everything gets broken the heck down. Or really any place that's in Condemned Criminal Origins. So...
That one goes a little bit too far.
Metro City, in any sense. Yeah, obviously goes away. Yeah, I was being a little silly there,
yeah.
But
I do like dilapidated cities. In fact, when I tried out Stellar Blade and I dropped it pretty fast because it felt like garbage to play. But like one of the first places you go through is like a ruined city. Like it's sort of like a post-apocalyptic game. But yeah, actually playing it felt like absolute crap. I'm a big game feel guy, and if the game... Alright, so I need to... Alright, I need to go through here.
Even something like Bioshock 1, I would count as a dilapidated city.
Bioshock has excellent atmosphere.
Right. You still see some of the stuff still up and running, and you can see what made Rapture such a great place. But then you can also see how it, fell, and I'm like, oh, it's just so cool. Most of the things in Dead Space 1 and 2. Because again, you can see how it was like a standard operating ship/ships. But then obviously it's all dilapidated and crazy and all that stuff. Goes all back to that world building, baby. We gotta keep talking about Dead Space 2, so Trev just goes...
That'll probably be my next game.
Fine.
Maybe not my next game, but I definitely want to do it this year.
Maybe, one day, if I ever do another game in the future, it won't be Dead Space 2. I almost want to go straight to Condemned 2, but I'm also toying with, like, oh, do I just do it? Do I just jump into Saw 2 Flesh and Blood?
Oh, by the way, I have, I don't know when I got it, but I have enslaved Journey to the West on my Steam account, so we can play that in not 20 FPS if you want to.
Oh, nice. I was thinking about that. That's on my short list. That's what I'm a little worried about because I really enjoyed it when I played it back around the time it originally came out.
I think it'll be fine for what it is. Like, it's a very linear, narrative-focused, like, Uncharted-inspired game. Like, those are not my cup of tea type of games, but they are yours, so I think you'll like it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just... I always worry if there's been a good period of time that passed. I'm like, oh man, would this have held up? Oh yeah, so circling back, this is from a while ago. So we had a copy of Haunting Ground for PS2 that we sold the other week, and the guy who picked it up is pretty cool customer. I've talked to him, a fair share of times, and he stopped in again yesterday, and he was like, "Oh, by the way, I've been playing Haunting Ground," and I was like,
"What?
What?"
No, it's just funny to actually play Haunting Ground.
Well, so...
I mean, he did spend, $500.
So what I said was, he said, "Oh, I've been playing that Haunting Ground." And I was like, "Can I say something that might be unpopular?" And he was like, "Okay." I was like, "I don't like it." And he was like, and he had the exact same opinions as me with it. I was like, I want to like it. I do. And I explained to him, I was like, I have played and beaten so many god-awful games that are technically way worse than Haunting Ground. Like, Haunting Ground's not a bad game. There can be a game that's like a 6 out of 10 that I just cannot stand. And then a game that's a 2 out of 10 that, I'm not saying I like it, but I can like stomach it and beat it. Which I've done a million times for this channel. And he had the same general sentiment. He was like, I forget if he said it first or I said it first, but I was like, my main thing is, I was like, I want to preface this by saying I love games where you don't have a lot of abilities, like a clock tower, where you're just like someone kind of weak running away, but I was like, the enemies in Haunting Ground are literally too smart. They're on your butt too much.
My problem with I don't really mind frustrating games that much, but when it's frustrating because of things that are out of my control, and it's mostly that stupid dog AI, you have to rely on that dog AI for everything because you're a helpless, like, horror protagonist.
Right.
But the fact that it doesn't listen to anything you say, it's so aggravating.
Well, also, apparently, because I never beat it, apparently, like, to get the true ending, you have to be, like, nice to the dog and listen to it and stuff. I guess that keeps, like, an effect meter or whatever. And in order to, fight the final boss or get the good ending, you have to be good to the dog. And I'm like, it's fine. I want to be good to the doggo, but can this game not be the most ridiculously unfair thing of all time? And once in a while, I think about going back to it. And I also think the general sentiment I've seen in that game online is that it's like darn near a masterpiece. Where people are like, it's really underappreciated.
I think people that say it's a masterpiece have never actually played it. They watch like a video. I mean, it is like, it's a good-looking game. It has like a kind of like a cool premise. It has interesting characters. The plot is sort of interesting. I do think it's like kind of... I just don't like the fact that like the fail-safe of that game is mostly the protagonist getting like, S-R'd. But,
I think a lot of it is also when people see a game that like gets expensive for whatever reason, they go, expensive game good.
It must be good. Zombie Nation on NES must be good.
Must be good. The biggest one, I played it on this channel, I beat it 100%, is Kuon for PS2. And I have seen multiple people have long-form videos calling Kuon a hidden gem and darn near short of an excellent game. And let me tell you, I don't care how much of a FromSoft fanatic you are, Kuon is not even... It's not even average. Is it very interesting? Sure. Is it something I would watch someone stream if they were competent and knew what they were doing? Absolutely. Is the story at least interesting? It's not a good story, but is it at least interesting? Sure. There's some stuff from that game I'll never forget, like the... excuse me. Putting people into cocoons and stuff like that.
It definitely has like
really wacky, crazy, awesome stuff. I love the Japanese vibe of like feudal age. It's great.
Again, everything about it, like the story and the characters and the premise is cool, but playing it sucks. It sucks.
I think that's truly a case of people trying to convince other people that it's a great game to raise the price of their copy even more, or someone who spent $1,000 on it trying to convince themselves that actually this game's really good. It's not. And I will also not accept, I've never played it for more than an hour, but people who say Rule of Rose is a good game are not correct. Rule of Rose is not a good game. In fact, it's pretty janky and awful.
You should make
I don't care that it's expensive.
Yeah, you should make a when you were talking about games going up in value because they're trying to talk about it and sell it for high price, it reminded me of all these pump and dump crypto coins.
Oh my god, yeah, you're right.
Things, and I was like, you should make a Kuon coin. Try to pump and dump that.
I'll just see whatever game at the store we have that I'm like, not like a really common one, but something uncommon that we happen to have 3 or 4 copies. I'd be like, oh, you know what's actually really great? I'm trying to think of an example, just something real stupid. Coliseum Road to Freedom for PS2. It might be a good game, but all of a sudden be like, actually, this is one of the most underappreciated games of all time. By the way, we have 7 copies of it. Lol, you know. I mean, I'm not saying we have 7 copies of it, but just like as an example for that. It's okay for a game to be expensive and bad. Now, sometimes there are games that are expensive and kino as hell, like Blood Will Tell for PS2. That game, I played it as a teenager and again as an adult a couple years ago, and that game is kino as hell. It's not perfect by any means. It's not even, like, well put together, but that game, awesome. It is an experience you'll never forget. So if you want to spend $500 on a PS2 game that's actually cool, Blood Will Tell.
Is Blood Will Tell that expensive now? I guess it's at least a couple $100.
Let me double check. I'm actually kind of curious.
I do notice that the most expensive PS2 games have kind of gone down. I mean, Hunting Ground and Kuon used to be like almost $1,000, but now they're like $500, $400, $500.
Oh, really? I didn't know that Kuon went down a little. Well, that's good.
I think Kuon's still more expensive than Hunting Ground, but it's not as crazy. I mean, there was so many like speculative like bubble economics during like COVID and the couple years after that.
You know, maybe I am thinking of like COVID-ish prices.
Like everything is like it's not just like games. It's like anything that's like a collectible, like graded the cards and stuff like that.
$350 to $500.
Yeah, still, yeah, definitely top 10.
This one's cool. A guy has the original receipt from when it was bought at GameStop in like 05 or whatever.
That's cool.
Tetsuka Osamu's Doro. Oh, right, Dororo. Because that one character's named Dororo.
Yeah, it's like based off like an actual like manga.
Is it really? Okay.
But like the game has like it's a loose interpretation.
Yeah.
Because the one thing is that the main character of like I remember looking it up and like the main character of the manga is Dororo instead of the guy.
What's his name?
I don't even remember.
I'm gonna go crazy on this.
Takashi.
Watch you be really close. The second I hear it or see it, I'm gonna go, oh man.
Oh, come on, you stupid piece of crap. Dog.
Hyakimaru.
Oh, yeah.
Hyakimaru. I never would have guessed it in a million years, but the second I see it, I'm like, yeah, Hyakimaru.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where it's like, oh, yeah. The second you hear it.
I'm not great with Japanese names, so I did not expect myself to know that, but... It looks like you can get loose copies for $200, or you can play Blood Will Tell any way you can. I was actually... I want to know your opinion on this. I was talking to a customer the other day about emulating and stuff in general, and my official CIB standpoint is, as a store, we will not help you with anything emulating, because it's just... Legally, it's a gray area that I'm not willing to do. Sorry. Even if you're like, how do I get an R4 card? I'd be like, what's an R4 card? Just legally, it's there's no purpose to it for us. Morally, I don't even think that you need... A lot of people will do it where they'll like be like, if I physically own the game, then I'll dump the ROM on my PS2 with a hard drive, and then it's okay. Here's my thing.
Anyone that says that they dump the ROM themselves is full of crap. I'm sorry.
Yeah, or maybe they download the ISO if they have the...
I definitely agree with everything you're saying though, but like anyone that's like, I dumped the ROM myself, it's like, no, you did not. You stupid piece of crap.
Here's my moral stance on it. You can let me know if you agree or not. If the game is available in any way to give the original publisher money. For instance, if it's still available as, let's take Brave Fencer Musashi for PS1. If you can download it on the PS5 store for $10 or $20 or whatever, it's not okay. If it's available digitally on a way that's like on Game Pass, that's on Nintendo Switch Online, so like Excite Bike as an example for NES, it's not okay. If there is no way for you to give money to the publisher for the game, it is 100% morally justifiable to emulate in any circumstance. So that means Switch, you cannot morally, for me, emulate full Switch games because there are still ways to buy new Switch games to give the money to the publisher. Whereas Little Samson for NES, there's no way you can give Taito money for that. So it's 100% morally justifiable to emulate it. What are your thoughts on that?
That's, I guess, what I would say. I don't think it's morally, but it's definitely justifiable. I don't know. I think people that justify piracy with like a morality or like something like that, just pirate stuff. It's fine.
I don't know. I try to look at it from a different standpoint.
I've already made this rant before, but people that like hide behind game preservation as a way to like pirate games, it's like you don't care about game preservation. You just want to play the thing for free.
Right. But most people, when they say that, they're talking about newer stuff, I find.
Yeah. But yeah, like old stuff that like it's just not available. Even like I would honestly say like this would go against what you said, but like games that Nintendo are offering on Nintendo Switch Online as a subscription rental service, I think you can pirate those games. I hate when Nintendo's doing their old catalog, making it a subscription.
I tried to be a little hardcore and put my line a little bit more towards the, I guess the non-morally justifiable kind of way. And obviously everyone's going to look at it a different way. Legality, it's a different thing. But, I don't know, if you want to play Excite Bike, and it's available on Nintendo Switch Online, I view it that as something. But there's even some newer games like,
I mean, is it nice that it's available to people? Yes.
Yeah.
Is it not cool that you can't own it? It's like, you... At no point, at any point of giving Nintendo money, are you, like, having ownership over anything?
Yeah. No,
that's why I detest...
I get exactly what you're saying.
I detest Game Pass with all my existence. And I understand people like it because it's just like a cheap, convenient option, but I think corporations are selling you convenience at a very, very steep cost, and I'm not talking money, I'm talking ownership, I'm talking about like just the proliferation of like retail games.
No, I definitely understand what you're saying, and I will say that I have seen a lot of people kind of change their opinions on stuff like that recently. Most people are pretty upset with software or games as a service now, and a lot more people are talking about like, can we just own this stuff, please? Can we pay for it and just own it? And I think what it takes is people need to vote with their wallets, as always. And if you don't like what a company's doing, then don't buy their stuff, you know? There's even some newer games, like, isn't Jump Force unavailable in any stretch anymore? Because of the anime rights or whatever?
Yeah, anything that's in, like, that much licensing hose probably.
Yeah. So for me, that'd be fine. You can emulate Jump Force because you can't give Bandai Namco or whoever made it any money for it, so that's my way of it. But yeah, I definitely agree. When I see people all the time being like, but game preservation, it's like, oh, show me the games you're preserving. Oh, the new Call of Duty, Elden Ring, you're preserving Elden Ring? You know what I mean? It's like, come on. Like, the game preservation that people should be preserving is the weird indie stuff, if you care that much. half of the crappy games I play on the horror games I play on Steam, preserve those because those could go away at a moment's notice. I mean, no one's ever going to notice or care.
Yeah.
But that's the stuff you should be.
A game does have to have some sort of value to people to care.
Right. I get it. I get it. But it's like, oh, you're game preserving. You're worried about game preservation for Mario Kart. What's the new one called? Tour or World? World. For Mario Kart World? Okay, got it.
It's actually super annoying that name. Like, I understand what they're doing. It's the first open world Mario Kart. But there's Mario World and there's Mario Kart, and when you try to like look them up together in like Google, especially when I was trying to find like the box art for it, all you just get is the Super Nintendo games.
Oof. One thing I've noticed, speaking of search functionality, eBay's search functionality for trying to find sold copies of games has become god awful. For if I don't have the UPC, like if I'm just searching for like, say, name of game NES complete, like a million other things show up until I find, you know, actual copies of that game, and I'm like, what is going on here? It never used to be that bad. I don't know if it's because more games are selling than ever before, but their search functionality, unless you have the UPC, is whack as all hell.
I could believe it. Especially, I mean, you can sell, like, your sponsored game on their search, so that probably really ruins stuff, too.
That's what I'm thinking.
But it does seem like search in general is just getting very bad.
Well, it's just like, we've all seen it on, like, Amazon when you, like... I had to order a karaoke machine, and it was, like, $50. And, the title for the item is, like, 500 words long. Right, because they try to put every single word that could possibly have anything to do with karaoke, right? So it's like, karaoke machine for beginners, kids, adults, wireless microphones, fun, karaoke night, Japanese businessmen. They didn't put that last part, but you know what I mean. Like everything you look up is going to have this like incredibly long title where you're like, I'm just searching for a karaoke machine that I can buy somewhat cheap.
Do you know how long we've been going?
I got home at...
I guess we started at like 7:45.
Yeah, 7:45, so it's been just about an hour.
Okay, that should probably stop. This place is pretty massive.
Seems like it.
Yeah, doing this place more, it's going to take a long time, so I want to sponsor 2 games too.
Hey, we can finish Condemned probably. Alright, lads and ladettes.
Alright, next time we're in the Crystalline Realm, and we get the best movement ability. Well, the guy who facilitates both of them.
Love movement abilities.
And then we're pretty much done with the Lower Sanctum. I would say the Lower Sanctum is like half this game, so this game is fairly long, but it's not like getting to the Central Sanctum is like the start of the second act of 3. It's more like the start of the second half of the game.
Alright, we will see you next time, and